Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on VMCTec. This is episode 5 and I hope you enjoy. So I have a lot of plans for this episode. I want to get started on my Teclympics build because the dates for that have been planned and I want to get started so I don't have to worry about it and rush later. And I have a lot of other simple mindless chores to do. And I'm also planning on making another part of my base in that general area. So, without further ado, let's go to another clip that I'm going to record where I welcome one of the newest members of the server, Techno. So, after the last episode, a few more people have joined VMCTec. This means that obviously we should go and say hi, and second of all, we have more people on the server, which means, more interactions, which means more fun, which means everyone is happy. So, the reason I'm going to visit Techno right now is because apart from VMCTec, I know Techno outside of that. So what we did was, I think I mentioned Caden Games in my last episode. Check that out in the card up there. But I mentioned the Caden Games, right? So I was building a map for that. And while building that map, there was a bit of a grind that I needed to do. And I didn't have the time to do it because of other IRL commitments. So Techno is like, cool, I'll do it for you, just pay me a bit. So I was like, cool, I'll give you some diamonds on VMCTec. So we're going to go do that now. I have run out of food, but let's go leave some signs for Techno, and I'll be right back. So I'm not sure when Techno is going to be putting out his first VMCTec video, and I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm going to look down at the ground and head towards his base, so that I don't, give away too much. But let's go to where his bed hopefully is and leave him some signs. Dear Techno, welcome to VMCTec. Here's a little welcome gift for you, plus your payment. Have fun, Annie. I think that's pretty good. So let's get our ender chest out and let's get our riches out. Boom, I think his payment was what? I think 1 diamond. So we'll give him that. And we'll also give him... oh wait, no, I set aside 4 blocks of gold because I don't know how... I don't know how valuable gold is, but I think it's a good gift. I'm not sure. If it's not, well, I'm sorry, Techno. There's nothing I'm going to do about that. So, we've done that. Now let's head back to the base. Before you all yell at me saying I showed the inside of his base, the outside of his base was the real, Fandango spectacular thing. So don't get too mad at me, it was just the inside I showed. Please calm down. Anyway, back to the base. Meanwhile, back at the base, we've got a gift ourselves. I think it's from the newest streamer on the server, Space Share, and her signs read as so. Hello Annie, Space here, thank you for the gift. If you are looking for something, please, you don't need to be... Bleh, I can't words. If you are looking for something, you don't need to be afraid to contact. P.S. I like the design of the house and the surrounding area. Thank you, Space. Let's look at what her gift was. Oh my lord. Never going to go hungry again. Also iron, yay. Efficiency 1, I'll take it. Leaves, yay. Name tag, great. Chicken feed, yes, I will need this for my farm. Buried treasure map, that could be fun, we could do that in this video. And a cauldron, that costs quite a bit of iron. Annoying to make. Thank you, Space. With all of those other things out of the way, I think our first order of business is going to be making our Teclympics event. So for those of you who don't know, the Teclympics is going to be an Olympic-style game we host. I know, who would have guessed. Here on the server, where each of us who wants to will make an event and people will participate and we'll just all around have a fun time. Now I was planning on putting my event somewhere around here, so let's cut to me building that. See ya! Alright, so we have cleared out the space needed for our Teclympics event. As you can see, we did have to clear out a few mountains here and I've set up a beacon. But I think this is looking pretty good. I will probably have to clear out a little bit more space, but that should be fine. But with that out of the way, let's get to building the actual event. Okay, so we're back and we've got the main framework of the actual event in here. As you can see, this is the place or the path the contestants will take. They will go along this side and of course, circle back. So if we drop in here, I've made a kind of like cocoon for the champions or tech leads to get in. So when they start, they'll press this button and that'll start taking items out of this chest and dropping them down into the chest below. That'll be our timing mechanism, and from that redstone lamp you can see whether the timer is on or off. So obviously when they press the button, the timer will start, and when they stop, this redstone lamp will switch off and the timer will stop. So that's the progress I've made so far. Now I think we're going to go and focus on actually getting the stuff in. As you can see, yeah, so I'll switch the timer off, and yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Also, fun fact, this uses a T flip-flop, and if you want to see a design for one of those, check out the video in the card. It's pretty good, I think, hopefully. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so we have our first obstacle in. As you can see, they will have to dodge, the tech lead, will have to dodge those coming out of the wall blocks. So that should be good. We're going to work on our next design right here. Okay, so after a bit of a grind, we've got the rest of side one all put in and ready to be used. Obviously, this isn't very pretty, it's just some drab stone walls with stuff moving. But I'm planning to pretty it up in another episode because I don't want to finish this entire thing in one episode. So as you can see here, the contestants will first have to dodge these stone block things coming out of the walls. Then they'll have to use these upcoming stone blocks to jump onto this slab and this block, which will lead them into the parkour section of the first side, which then ends in, as you can see over here, some dispensers. Now those dispensers are hooked up to a clock, and they will be firing arrows periodically when the game or the Teclympic event has started. Now, onto the problems. First thing, this lags the server a lot. So I have inserted a master kill switch in case anything bad happens, so we can do that. Also, I need arrows. I don't have that many arrows that I can supply the dispensers for enough, so I might have to ask the community to help me out there. Apart from that, I think this side is not looking pretty good, but it's functioning pretty well. As you can see, that entrance place, I have made it into kind of a cocoon, so it's not too exposed or whatever for the champions or the tech leads to sit in. And yeah, I think we're going to leave this project for this episode. We will come back to it next episode, so don't worry, you will get to see what the rest of the obstacles will be. But without further ado, let's move on to another project. So before we move on to the larger project for today's episode, which is obviously building the next part of our mega base, which is going to go somewhere around there actually, I wanted to do some preparations. So as you know, I am anti-big industry, and therefore if you watched the last episode, as you can see in the corner up there, if you watched the last episode, you can see that me and Avon have planned to start protesting at certain times at some of the big industrialist spaces. So what that means is we need to go and set up a staging ground. So before we can actually protest, we need to make sure we have the space to protest, etc, etc. So right now I think we're going to go and set that up, probably outside of KHI, and I'll be back when we finish that off, or at least when we're there and we're ready to start. So we're here at KHI, and as you can see, this place is ginormous. Built off the backs of animal cruelty and whatnot. This place is massive. All jokes aside though, well done Caden and Ruri, this looks amazing. But yeah, we need to find out where we're going to base our protests from. Initially I was thinking that hill, but then I realized there's already a house there. Then I thought maybe that hill, but there's a huge gap in the way, which is kind of a bad thing. And then I looked around and I realized, down there, that's not too far away, it's got some nice scenery, etc, etc. So I think we're going to go down there and set up a small kind of base camp where we can plan our protests and, you know, fight the power. I don't know, man. So yeah, let's go get to building that, and I'll be back when we're done. So after a little bit of a grind, we can see that we've got our base done. This is our staging area for the protests that me and Avon are going to do outside KHI. And I think this is looking pretty good. I think we'll do a quick flyby to see what this looks like from above. So as you can see, it's kind of inconspicuous, kind of small, but if we land over here, it does have the kind of, you know, hippie kind of vibe to it. So I really like it. I think the flowers at the front as well as the campfires help a lot to really sell the vibe. I'm thinking about making that roof a little bit, oh wait, no please. But I'm thinking about making that roof a little bit taller to try and, you know, make it look a bit more natural. But with this done, we will get in touch with Avon, figure out when and where we're going to protest. And yeah, let's move on to the main project for today's episode, which will be building the next part of our base. See ya! So in between recordings, obviously I kind of forgot to record a clip before building this, but I have decided that the next project is going to be building the next part of our mega base. So let's go into a time lapse of that. Alright, so we've got our next part of the mega base all fully built up, and I'm thinking that this looks nice. I was thinking about adding campfires here and there, but then I realized too many campfires is just gonna spoil the vibe. So I may add a few in between recordings, but I think we're gonna keep it a little bit on the less campfire-y side for now. But with this mega base project done, we have done quite a lot this episode. We have built our staging ground for protests at KHI, we have started on our Teclympics build, and we have, you know, built the mega base, part of the mega base. So I think that's good progress for one episode. So since we've made so much progress, I think it's almost time for us to end the episode. And since I said last episode that I would do a segment where I talk about each of the people on the server, I thought maybe in this episode I'll talk about the guy who owns and kind of runs the server and his... Oh. Hello there, Techno. What? Shiny friendship rock. I mean... Okay then. I'm kind of confused, to be honest. Anyway, thank you, Techno. With that out of the way, let's talk about Techthor. So Techthor, he is another huge YouTube channel compared to mine. Over 500 subscribers, absolute celebrity. But what he does is he makes redstone content and like obviously content on VMCTec, but he makes content like you know, AFK Elytra flying. He's a whiz with redstone basically, and he's basically one of the most important people on the server given the fact that he hosts the actual thing. So yeah, He is also a good friend of mine. You might have seen him in some of my episodes. I think in episode 3 he came to my base. So yeah, that's a thing. And I don't really know what else to say. He is a super nice guy. He's very helpful. He is a physicist, which is very cool. And he's just an all-around cool guy. So that wraps up today's Meet the People on VMCTec. I may have slightly overlooked the fact that I don't really know much to say about the other people on the server, apart from like a few of them. So that could be a problem. But all of that aside, I think we're done for today. So with that out of the way, I think we will end the episode here. So if you like this, please make sure to subscribe, leave a like, share, comment, do all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.